Hello again, friends, and welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Joshua, and with the other Circle of Folk pastors here, we got Johnny and Nate and Rod. You'll see their names, and I'm glad that you're checking us out here. We're trying this experiment of a weekly 9-minute hangout here because we're talking in real life a lot about different topics that are important both to the life of the church and what we're seeing in our neighborhoods and in society. But we're going to try this little unscripted experiment to see if things come up or if we make some new friends. So today we're talking about why are we so Jesus-y? And Rod, this comes up because you actually get asked this question or have recently, right?
Yeah, I have. The context recently was just somebody talking about trying to relate to some people who don't know much about church. And you had this kind of situation where they were relating to Christians and non-Christians, and they were trying to defend themselves a little bit by saying, yeah, if I need to get my Jesus on, I can get my Jesus on. I can get Jesus-y. I can do that if I need to. And it was really interesting because I said, I think a lot of people might feel that, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean, because what would Jesus-y be? But I think people do think we're Jesus-y.
We're Jesus-y because we talk about Jesus a lot. Is that the sense you're getting? We even use the word Jesus where a lot of the world wouldn't use the word.
I think so. Well, and Jesus just, God I can take. God I understand. Everybody knows about God. But you bring Jesus into it, and suddenly everyone's fighting about something. I think that's what they feel. So they'd kind of like to just keep it tolerant so that we don't have to have something. And once you got Jesus calling you to follow him or something like that, it sounds very Jesus-y. And now we're kind of under the gun to respond to Jesus, which feels coercive or like someone's putting something on or something. I'm not exactly sure.
That's just so interesting to me, the whole premise, because Christianity is about following Christ. And so I don't even know how you can be a Christian without having Jesus at the heart of it.
People might be channeling the Apostle Paul when he's talking about being all things to all people. So they might want to put on different costumes depending on who they're talking to. But the important part of the passage is actually spreading the gospel and teaching people to follow Jesus through any means. I think not being Jesus-y might undermine that whole thing, or being afraid of it. I don't think Paul was afraid to do that, but I think he was sensitive to a variety of cultures.
Well, when Rod the other night at our doing theology time, you were talking about maybe the different expressions of being Jesus-y, maybe like our Anabaptist tradition of just this go live in a separate village and just demonstrate what the kingdom looks like, but the separatists. And then on the other side, people who are going out trying to really be explicit about Jesus is moving and I want to move with him. And we're our cultural moment here. We like the Anabaptists who kind of keep quiet and are nice people better than the explicit Jesus people probably.
Well, I guess sometimes I feel a little stung by that. It's almost like a hidden accusation. Now you're getting all Jesus-y on me. Because I kind of feel that way about people too, honestly. I mean, I remember these people who are that I've known in the past who, when something really dramatic happens in a worship time or something like that, they'll say something like, "Oh, now we've really had church." There's this thing, and it's this kind. To me, it seems like sort of a almost like a creepy thing sometimes, that it's too like unreal or inauthentic. Where I think Jesus, the incarnation of God in Jesus Christ, is so with us, so normal, so in our space, that I wouldn't want to have it seem, and it doesn't seem to me, like it's like some other thing I put on that's so crazy that no one could relate to it. It seems like the exact opposite to me.
Yeah, I was just thinking I think I'm Jesus-y because I am trying to act like Jesus would act. But I don't think I'm putting on an act. I think that's intrinsic to who I am. In fact, I think the accusation that I get more than anything is, why aren't you Jesus-y? Because it's not the overt bad tasting Christianity that some people are used to.
Joshua, what
Both
do you
ends
think
are for
about
me.
that?
I
Sorry,
think,
Johnny, what were you saying?
I was wondering what Joshua thought.
well, I think what people might be cringing at has to do more with coercion than it does about Jesus. Because if their experiences with Jesus-y people is, televangelists or people, getting in your face, trying to give you a piece of paper that tells you you're damned to eternal burning or something like that, and that's what Jesus-y is to them, then that's too bad. Because what if being Jesus-y was demonstrating radical forgiveness, or being in the middle of a war-torn situation and helping people to make peace? I think that's Jesus-y too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then the accusation, "Why are you so Jesus-y?" wouldn't be offensive, where this one is kind of meant to be a slap a little bit.
well, because it is true that people do put on their perfect face or something like that because they think that the church is about ready to judge them any moment. I actually did talk about I've been doing research with psychotherapists, and they one of the therapists was in a church. Their office is in a church, and they thought that their clients for sure expected when they came into the church that someone would judge them. It was like a detriment to their ministry because that was the general impression, which is really kind of shocking. It's if that's what people think.
Mm.
The trouble is also because you have stereotypes attached to the Christian subculture, so to speak, and people actually believe that faith is the byproduct of culture. Um, don't impose your culture on me. But really, my faith is a product of a revelation from God. It's something bigger than the culture. And so all of the cultural stereotypes I may want to remove from myself as I really get to what Jesus is really doing.
Mm. So we're a little bit less than 2 minutes left for the final round. Share your final brief thoughts. Why are we so Jesus-y?
We're so Jesus-y because we take the incarnation seriously, and we actually want to be Jesus-y. We're Jesus-y on purpose.
I'm Jesus-y because I follow Jesus. I'm consumed by Jesus. I'm constrained by his love, so I can't stop talking about him.
Jesus made me a new creation, actually born again, like he was telling Nicodemus, so I can't help but be who he has made me.
Oh, you're also concise. That was so good. I've experienced that, being far away and going into dark places, and Jesus and the way of Jesus is bringing me hope, and I see people getting in that restoration process, and it gives me strength. It gives us being a demonstration of that hope. Is beauty. It's a beautiful thing that we're doing. I'm glad to be a part of it, and Jesus is at the center of it. Well, we did have the last round, but anybody have any? We got 20 seconds here.
That's okay.
All right. So thank
Good. It
you.
was fun.
Thanks for watching this, and
Joshua.
subscribe, like, share the video if you're into it, and feel free to leave us some comments or questions, or maybe you have some further questions you would like us to talk about. But for now, peace.